Governor Mike DeWine is turning his weekly coronavirus briefings into a spotlight on gun violence. He says 40 people were shot across the state last week alone.
News 5's Olivia Fecto reports that violence is too often affecting the lives of innocent children.
Their photos peer out from our television screens. Rowan Sweeney, a 4-year-old, shot and killed near Youngstown. King Pleasant, a Canton 6-year-old, shot and killed by an 11-year-old.
What a horrible, horrible, senseless tragedy.
Governor Mike DeWine highlighted recent cases of children wounded or killed by gun violence in Ohio as he pushed for the General Assembly to pass the Strong Ohio bill to stiffen the penalties for repeat violent offenders who use a gun.
We have an obligation as leaders of this state to take action to protect people.
In June, Nakia Crawford, a recent high school graduate, was shot and killed in Akron while waiting at a stoplight. Someone shot Javon Tell, 10 years old, last Tuesday as he took out the trash at his Cleveland home.
For me, gun violence, youth gun violence, is the other pandemic.
Dr. Edward M. Barksdale Jr. is the surgeon-in-chief at Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital.
We're seeing more children who are dying from bullets and violence than we are from COVID.
People are under a great deal of stress.
Case Western Reserve professor Daniel Flannery heads up the Begun Center for Violence Prevention. He says stressors during the pandemic are contributing to increasing rates of domestic violence and substance abuse.
This isn't someone else's problem. This isn't only an issue when it affects us personally.
If you're a 10-year-old taking out the garbage because your mom asked you to take it out and you get shot, then what you internalize is that my house isn't safe.
Rosemary Creedon of Frontline Services trying to help kids in that position through the Children Who Witness Violence program.
There's a tremendous amount of anxiety among the children that we serve.
We have a tendency to not only turn our channel away from violence, but also to turn our hearts away from what's occurring in a population that we may or may not relate to.
Dr. Barksdale says step number 1 is to bridge that empathy gap. Beyond that, kids who come through Rainbow as victims of gun violence are part of his anti-fragility initiative, which seeks to support children after trauma. He says he hopes Northeast Ohio sees this for the epidemic it is.
We have to stop normalizing violence for the future of this community in Northeast Ohio, if not for the future of the country.
Olivia Fecto, News 5.